Welcome to Vintage Homey. As autumn's golden hues sweep in, there's no better time to transform your space into a cozy, vintage haven inspired by the charm of an English cottage. In this video, we share 12 delightful styling ideas to infuse your home with warmth, nostalgia, and timeless allure. From rustic textures to soft, earthy tones, each concept captures the essence of fall while embracing the inviting aesthetic of cottage living. Whether you're refreshing a single room or your entire home, these ideas will inspire you to create a snug retreat perfect for crisp autumn days. Let's dive into these heartwarming concepts. Picture a stone fireplace glowing with a crackling fire, its warmth radiating through a quaint living room. Surround it with plush, velvet cushions in burnt orange and deep burgundy, draped over a vintage armchair. A woven wool throw in creamy beige adds texture, while a small wooden side table holds a steaming teapot and antique books. Soft candlelight flickers from iron holders, casting a golden glow on ivy-patterned wallpaper. This nook feels like a hug from autumn itself, cozy, intimate, and steeped in rustic charm. Add a braided rug underfoot to tie the space together, creating a perfect spot for sipping cider and watching leaves fall outside. Transform your kitchen into an English cottage dream with wooden shelves lined with ceramic jars and earthy greens and creams. A farmhouse sink sits beneath a window framed with gingham curtains in soft mustard tones. Copper pots hang from a wrought iron rack, gleaming under natural light. The scent of freshly baked bread fills the air, mingling with dried lavender bundles tied with twine. A scrubbed oak table, adorned with a linen runner and mismatched vintage plates, invites gatherings. This space feels alive with warmth and simplicity, evoking memories of hearty autumn meals shared with loved ones in a timeless, rustic setting. Create a serene window seat nestled under a large, mullioned window overlooking an autumn garden. Layer it with soft cushions in tweed and tartan patterns, blending russet and olive hues. A knitted throw in warm ochre drapes casually over the edge. Add a small bookshelf nearby, filled with leather-bound novels and a brass lantern for evening reading. The seat feels like a quiet escape, where the rustle of leaves and soft light filtering through lace curtains create a peaceful retreat. This cozy corner invites reflection, wrapped in the nostalgic charm of an English countryside home. Envision a bedroom with walls papered in delicate floral patterns of rose and sage. A wrought iron bed is dressed in crisp white linens and a quilt stitched in autumnal golds and crimsons. A vintage trunk at the foot holds extra blankets, while a ceramic vase on the nightstand spills over with dried hydrangeas. The room feels soft and restful, with morning light streaming through sheer curtains, highlighting the textures of a woven rug. This retreat captures the essence of an English cottage, offering a warm, vintage haven for crisp fall nights and lazy autumn mornings. Set your dining room with a long oak table covered in a linen cloth embroidered with tiny leaves. Mismatched wooden chairs, painted in muted greens and creams, surround it. Center the table with a garland of pine cones, berries, and eucalyptus, paired with brass candlesticks holding ivory tapers. The room feels like an extension of an autumn garden, with earthy scents and natural textures creating a warm, inviting atmosphere. Soft light from a wrought iron chandelier enhances the vintage charm, making every meal feel like a cozy countryside gathering, filled with laughter and the clink of mismatched china. Welcome guests with an entryway featuring a weathered wooden console table, topped with a tarnished silver mirror. A basket of pine cones and a ceramic jug filled with wheat stalks add rustic charm. Hang a tweed coat on an iron hook, and place a pair of vintage boots beneath. A wool runner in deep plum softens the stone floor, while a single lantern casts a warm glow. This space feels like stepping into an English cottage, with its blend of practicality and timeless beauty, evoking the crisp, earthy essence of autumn as soon as you cross the threshold. Imagine a small library with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves in dark oak, filled with leather-bound classics. A wingback chair in forest green sits by a roaring fire, with a tartan blanket draped over it. A brass floor lamp casts a soft glow, illuminating a Persian rug in ruby and amber hues. The room feels like a warm embrace, with the scent of aged paper and wood smoke creating an intimate, scholarly vibe. This library is a perfect autumn retreat for diving into a novel or sipping tea while rain patters against the window panes, steeped in vintage English charm. Create a pantry that doubles as an autumnal workspace, with open shelves holding glass jars of dried herbs like rosemary and thyme. Bundles of sage and lavender hang from a wooden beam, their earthy scents filling the air. A small workbench, scattered with twine and scissors, sits beneath a window with gingham curtains. A woven basket holds fresh apples, adding a pop of red. The space feels functional yet charming, with its mix of practicality and vintage aesthetics, evoking the simplicity of an English cottage where autumn's bounty is preserved with care. Design a guest room with a four-poster bed draped in a patchwork quilt of autumnal hues, terracotta, mustard, and olive. Linen curtains in soft beige frame a window with views of falling leaves. A rocking chair in the corner, piled with knitted cushions, adds cozy charm. A small table holds a ceramic pitcher and a stack of vintage books. The room feels warm and welcoming, like a hug from a countryside retreat, offering guests a nostalgic escape wrapped in the timeless allure of an English cottage during the crisp days of fall. Transform your bathroom into a serene haven with a clawfoot tub surrounded by flickering candles and brass holders. Shelves hold stacks of fluffy towels and cream and sage, alongside glass jars of bath salts. A small window with lace curtains lets in soft autumn light, illuminating a tiled floor with a woven mat. The space feels tranquil and indulgent, with the gentle scent of lavender and the warm glow of candles creating a vintage spa-like atmosphere. This bathroom is a perfect retreat for soaking away the chill of an autumn evening in true English cottage style. Envision a sunroom filled with natural light, its walls painted in soft cream. Wicker furniture is adorned with cushions in apple red and moss green, while a low table holds a tray of vintage teacups. Potted ferns and ivy spill over the edges, echoing an autumn orchard. A wool throw in burnt orange adds warmth, and a glass door opens to a view of falling leaves. This space feels fresh yet cozy, blending the outdoors with vintage charm, creating a perfect spot for morning coffee or afternoon reading in an English cottage-inspired haven. Turn your porch into a cozy retreat with a wooden swing piled with plaid cushions in crimson and navy. A small table holds a lantern and a basket of apples. Potted mums in deep yellow and burgundy line the steps, while a wool blanket drapes over a rocking chair. The space feels like an extension of the countryside, with the crisp autumn air mingling with the scent of pine. This porch is a perfect spot for enjoying a warm drink while watching the sunset, wrapped in the timeless charm of an English cottage. That's all the ideas for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more ideas like this.